Good morning, art buddies, and happy Thursday. Welcome to Bricolage with Pink Girly. Today I'm going to play with some watercolor, and I've pulled out a few of my stamps, and hopefully I'm not going to embarrass myself too badly. Watercolor is not a medium that I am comfortable with. So come on in, get comfy. If you're a replayer, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hey! Hi, girls. Good morning, Gail. Leah, good morning. Hi, Jacqueline. Fingers crossed that she can watch the whole stream. Oh, I hope so too, honey. Hi, Angie. Jacqueline, I was going to message you last night, and I thought, oh my gosh, she's got to be in bed by now. I think it was like 11 or 12 Eastern. Things continue to be a little cray-cray here in the household. So a lot of times after whatever I'm watching on TV, or if hubby goes to bed, or if I'm coloring or whatever I'm doing, um, right before I start to fall asleep, a lot of times I put on my phone and I look at reels. And a lot of them are funny, but you know how when you start watching a certain kind of reel, the algorithm keeps sending you the same thing. Well, I watch a lot of art stuff too, drawing in particular, and some watercolor. So I've been seeing, hey Peggy, good morning. I've been seeing some watercolor reels that I've been wanting to try. So I thought I'd add stamps on there too, to just, do a little something else with them. I'm not sure how any of this is going to turn out because, like I said, this is not my comfort zone. But quite some time ago, when I saw a couple of these, and I did have a brush like this, but mine really got beat up. It's called a dagger. It's a dagger brush, Dager. So this is a 1/4 inch, and see, it's got that severe angle. Now, I love an angle brush. That's probably my favorite brush. So now Princeton, see, it doesn't look like it's all perfect. I've had other Princeton brushes. In fact, I like one of their liners. This is my favorite liner brush. Hey, good morning, Andrea. So I've got some 140-pound watercolor paper. I cut some up in different sizes. And I personally like to use hot press because it's smoother. I think for me, that's just because I really am an acrylic gal at heart. And so that's what I tend to go to. But I do have plenty of cold press, which has a bumpy side and then a less bumpy side. So I don't know what I've taped up here, but I've got a variety of sizes. And a little while ago, I was able to get a hold of one of the Kurtaki Art Nouveau sets of watercolor paints, and I haven't used them. In fact, I forgot I had them. So this brand, and not that I'm experienced because I am not, um, but for my taste and for my experience, I really like my Kurtaki paints. So I thought I would mess around with the Nouveau set. Now, look, I've got some kind of tape or plastic or something on this brush. I want to pull that off because that will probably annoy me. So I thought the first thing I would do, while maybe some of you are starting to come in, would be just to mess around with this brush in particular, to just see how it feels, see what kind of marks I can make with it. And then I'm going to show you a couple of the reels that I've seen that I want to try to mimic, and then we'll go from there. I also got, I think I picked this up at Walmart. I saw this. I usually always breeze through. I really don't go out that much. But it's just a little pan. where I can mix different things. So I do have my glass work mat underneath of me, but I thought I might like to use that if I want to mix any colors or just spread them out and not have them running all over the place. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to put my paints over to the right. I did mist them once already to try to soften up those colors. If you're not familiar with watercolors, they are water soluble, watercolor paints, and they continue to move as they come in contact with water. I also have this little mini mister. I thought that might come in handy if I want to spray something on my paper. Now, the Art Nouveau colors don't have a pan of white, and one of the reels I'm going to show you it looks like they're using, I'm assuming, white watercolor because they're using watercolor in the rest of the painting. So let me just use something dark here just to see. I'm not sure how this, oh, that's nice. Oh. Oh, that's a very nice brush. Leah said, "B watercolor paper at Walmart. Great starter and practice paper." Okay, great. Thanks for that tip. Now, if you want me to see something in particular and you need my attention, make sure you put it in caps for me. I appreciate that. See, I tend to not use my watercolor very watery, and I think that's a problem. And some of the reels, they don't really give you instructions. If any of you have watched some of these reels, right? They just do their thing. Now I have other water brushes here too. I just wanted to see how this goes with this brush. Now, of course, sometimes when you watch people do watercolor, they, wet the surface first and then the watercolor blooms. Yeah, I think I see what I saw. They didn't do this. I think they were starting from dry. So I'm going to start small. And I'm not sure what brushes I'm going to be using today. So I've got them over here at the ready. But I think I might need a liner. And I might need this one. I don't think I'm going to need anything too large, but I'm going to put those over there to the left. All right. So there's Kimberly. Good morning, Kathleen. Good morning. Welcome, welcome in, ladies. All right. So some of the pieces of paper. Now, this is what I'm using is 140-pound watercolor paper, cold pressed. So it's not super heavy. Let me show you a couple of these reels. I'm assuming I'm allowed to do this because it's, on Instagram. So I have to go here, saved. All right, so this one, they just are putting little dots of watercolor on their paper. They're using a variety of colors. And as you can see, they're just making them almost like in a long, not a straight line, but kind of like a curved line. So then they put their brush in water and just pull out from those little colors, add stems and leaves. I mean, how hard can that be? We'll see. So that's what I'm going to start with. That seems to be one of the easier ones that I noticed. So this little piece, I cut this. Now I'm thinking I might at some point want to use this on, say, a card front. Now you have to let me know. This is 6 by 4. Now you have to let me know if my camera needs to come down, go up. I do see that, of course, when I use white, I get some of that streaking. Maybe that's a little better. So now this brush is probably a little big for this paper. Let's see, so let me pull out, let's see, this is a number 2, yeah, and this is a number 8, yeah. Okay, so I don't know, I might, this guy looks like look, see, can you see him? He looks like he needs a haircut. We'll see how this goes. Now I do want to water down, move your camera down or move your paper up. Yeah, I can't move my paper up because I need it laying flat. Hi, Ange. Is that any better? All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is just pick out some of these colors that I have here. Of course, this is going to be a smaller version, and I'm just going to make my little dots. So I'm going to wet my brush, and let's see. I'm going to start with let me spray my colors again. Now, if you asked me a question, I missed it. Please put it in again because I'm not always paying attention. Now, I think with this, I want the color to be a little bit darker because then I want to pull from the little dots that I'm making. All right, so I'm going to start in the center, and they just made a variety of little dots, kind of, in a curved, not real straight fashion. Good morning, Dawn. All right, now let me pick another color. I'm going to go lighter pink. Might be a little hard to see at first. I want to make them different heights and lengths. Just like a bit of wildflower. I think the one thing that I struggle with watercolor is that, it's supposed to look runny and, watery and have movement. And I think a lot of times for me, coming from an acrylic background, I like things tighter. I like there to be more order, if you will. You know. Now I'm noticing, oh, this is kind of a yellow. This is like a yellow green. Let's try this. I'll have this one go the other direction. And then you could always, if you do something like this and you really like it, you could put it in one of your journals. You could make a tag. You could use it as a base for a cluster. You could use it as a card front. So even if you just felt like messing around, you could use these. You could cut them up into little inchies. I did cut some inchies, but you could cut them up and do a host of things with them, right? All right, so my nose, I'm going to grab a little bit more of this orangey color. And I'm going to put this one over here. Let's bend this one this way too. Okay. So this is all I'm doing at this point. I don't know what causes that striping. It really is annoying. It's annoying. So now what she did on the video, well, I'm assuming it's a she, but it may not be. She just took a damp or a wet brush just with water and then pulled from these flowers, pulled out the paint. I think I want something, but I don't think I have a water brush that's like that. Let me see how this brush works. Let's just see. Okay. So I'm going to watch it again. See, I have to watch and rewatch. Oh, maybe it's enough with music. Now, because it's watercolor, when I hit this with a brush, now my paper is dry, but she's saying it just blooms. So when you hit it with a brush just with water in it, you're going to be able to make the little petals. See, and they're real fuzzy looking, but that's what it's supposed to, that's what I'm going for. I'm going for fuzz. Here come the fuzz. Here come the fuzz. So let's start. These are dry. This is more, I'm going to go left to right, so I'm not putting my fist in it. Does that make sense? I think I need a little more water. Yeah, mine don't look good. Mine don't look so good. It looks like she adds water and touches the dots and spreads them out. Yes, that's exactly what it looks like. But it's not as easy as she makes it look, that's for sure. She just really is kind of tapping them, isn't she? She just kind of taps them. They look awful. Dawn says the secret is enough water on your brush. Yeah, she's just doing strokes. She's not going in circles. Maybe I don't have enough water on my brush. Okay, let's try. Let me try here. Can you see what I'm doing? She's just pulling out from the center. I might have put too much in my little circle. Okay, so I'm not liking these. When she put her paint down, she didn't blop it. She kind of ran it around. Let me try this again. And then if not, I'm going to flip this over and use the other side. See, she's real intentional how she's putting down the paint. I guess just kind of plopped it, but she's running it around like maybe she's spreading it out a little. And then when she goes to do the petals, she's just brushing out. Wait do you see? See, she's just pulling it out a little bit. So I think my center blob, I had too much paint. Redo. Let me try again. Okay. She kind of went, I'm still getting a fair amount of paint on there. And she only does 3 or 4 things. That's another thing too. Maybe don't let paint dry. It looks like hers dries because she does all of her flowers and then she goes back. I mean, it's gonna reconstitute, right? It's gonna, because it's watercolor, it's going to allow me to do that. Hey, good morning, Kathy. No, I didn't put as many on that one. Every time I do a live like this, I think, why do you do this, Lori? But the reality is I'm probably not gonna, yeah, that's what Dawn was saying. I probably am not, it has a lot to do with, and I guess it's a learning curve too, has a lot to do with how much water you are putting on your brush. Did I miss anybody? Did I say hi to everybody? I hope. Okay, so let's see. I'll do this darker pink. Okay, now I'm going to try to leave a lot more water in my brush. Let's see. And all she does is she just strokes out. She just strokes it. She just strokes out. Okay. I definitely have too much paint. I'm going to try it again with less paint. See, this is why I don't really mess around with watercolor, because I'm not successful. And so you just bloom. You don't worry about what anybody thinks. You just do it. Okay. Drop in some pigment. Well, I think that was my problem. I have too much. Now it's hard to see with that light pink. Let's go over here. She's just stroking it like that. Oh, that looks better. That looks a little better. I'm trying to see how many petals she does. She looks like she's only doing 4 petals. And of course, she's not twirling. She's not twirling her paper. Hey, hi, Joyce. These look like those little maple things that come out of the maple tree. The seeds can get all over the place. That one looks a little better. I'm going to go back to my original, and I think I'm going to let it dry, let this dry. Might hit it with my heat gun. Because hers looks like it's dry when she, I think this was this color, not that it matters. Yeah, I think her strokes were shorter, Peggy. All right, let me get my heat gun just for a little, because this won't take. The thing with watercolor is, though, I think I can go over top like and do a redo, right? I still think I could use an even smaller brush. These aren't necessarily water brushes. I don't think that looks like a good, let's see. Let's test this. I got both sides going. That was a good tip. That's a good pickup, Peggy. She's not going as, she's going a little wider and not as long. That's a good tip. That's a very good tip. I'm just seeing what else I have available here. Okay. See, I'm so used to just wanting to tap off all that extra water. I'm going to just try from the bottom up. She goes like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. She comes a little. So I think I had the right idea initially, but see, then I took all that extra paint out. I think you have to not be afraid of water, and I am afraid of it. Can you tell? Like, it's just paper. Like, I don't know what my issue is. I do like to twirl my papers, though. I do that even when I'm coloring. I'm a twirler. So I'm trying not to stroke too far out, like Peggy suggested. I think that really is helping. I think they look a little better. And they're supposed to look whimsy, you know, like a wildflower kind of. So I think that purple one looks a little better. Not much, but a little bit. A little bit better. I'm going to add like Leah said, I'm going to put some more pigment back in here. And I'm going to come back and redo. I'm going to come back and do a redo. This one was the deeper pink. Now, if you just got here, I'm using my Kurtaki Art Nouveau watercolors. And I saw this on a reel on Instagram, and I've been wanting to try it. So today you're the victim. Thank you, Dawn. You're so cute. The lighter colors are really difficult to get any. Let me add some of this. I got a darker pink here. I'm gonna plop that in. And then I'm just, I mixed it. I didn't rinse it enough. Oy. I have to tap it off a little bit. So I'm just doing like 3 little strokes, 2, 3, 4, not coming too far off of the flower. You could put as many petals as you like, right? I could have put them a little closer together. Trying to remember to make them a little wider, the petals. And then maybe keep loading some water on my brush. All right, so I think if you're going to try this, what you need to do is make sure your little circle, your little dot, when you put your little dots on, make sure you have enough pigment. Number 1. Number 2, like Dawn said, make sure you have enough water on your brush. And like Peggy said, don't make your brush strokes too long. And I think you'll like it better. Now, if you want any of these reels, just, contact me on Instagram and I'll shoot them over to you. You can watch. But I don't want to spend all day messing this up. I'm just kind of trying to go over what I have here so I can see my little flowers better. And maybe the Art Nouveau palette was not the best palette for this. See, that one you can't really see. But I'm going to put some leaves in and then just move on. Oh, is it, Leah? I'll use that as an excuse. Now I'm going to use that dagger brush, I think. Let's see what I can do with that and put some stems in. So I'm going to do this. I'm not really paying attention to how she did this here. And then I think I want to put some other stems as well. She just kind of looks like she just does leaves like that. You know, she doesn't really fuss around too much with it. Thank you, Leah. I wonder if I just did some, just a little so they're not floating in the air, kind of like here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know that I want. I could always cut that. Hey, Pam. Hi. Did I miss anybody else coming in? Good morning. Maybe some smaller strokes. Sometimes the more you mess with it, then you get yourself in trouble. But then I decided I was going to add stamping to it, so I did pull out some stamps. And let's see. I kind of like maybe for this one, just this little figure type stamp. We'll see how that looks. So let me just grab my inker. Oh, the other thing she did is she splashed it. So let me splash it. Let's see. Let me get a liner. Where's that liner? This might be a little too thick. Maybe not. All right, so maybe I'll splash it with I think I want something dark. Hmm. Now I have to dry it. Oh, I didn't do the top of that. Oh, well, this is fine. You see, with watercolor, you can come back in, right? Thank you, Gail. Thanks, Andrea. That's really sweet. Probably some black on there would be nice, but fabric with that. Now you could come around the edge too. Oh, I need an ink pad. I think pad might be a good idea. Don't you think? Thanks, Peggy. All right, let's see. My paper kind of curled up. This might be blurry. That's okay, Ange. You go ahead. Work along, honey. Listen and work. We'll keep you company. That's fine. That's just fine. Okay. So, I probably will come around the edge with something too because it looks just too white. I'm not going to do that right now. But see, I think I'll come back and maybe work on those little petals a little bit. But not too shabby. Not too terribly shabby. All right, so let's look at the next reel. Now there are a couple that I know it's really beyond my skill set, and I don't want to do that in front of, an audience. But see, like a rose like that. I mean, yeah, Lori's got to practice that. But see, let's look at this one. This where she's, I just keep saying she. This could be a fella, who knows? Where you do a pot and then you're putting in a bunch of stems. And then really just little tiny brush strokes, on top of really, it's like a little pot of lavender. So let's give that a go, huh? Let's give it a go. It's just paper. It's just paper. All right. So what I'm going to use this. This is a silver black velvet round number 8. Oh, you know what, Gil? I didn't even look. Yeah, they probably do. That last one, if I can, My Art 0723, Lily Williams, it says. This next one is Blue Bell Arts, Elephant Music. Maybe the other one was the music that was playing in the background. I don't know. All right, so again, this looks like they started with dry because when the paint hits the paper, it's not blooming that much, All right, so again, I don't know that I have enough water on my brush. I don't really pay attention to that, Gail. Good call on that one. Okay, so they just kind of start with their shape to make their pot. See, I can't stop touching it. That's the other part of my problem. This is not the best shape of a pot. Of a pot. Okay. Redo. Redo. Not really in the center of my paper either. I'm a bit wonky. I love wonky. I guess just like everything else, you have to get a feel for it, right? Okay, Andrea's gonna lurk. She's got to get some stuff in the oven. Okay. See, and I like to have maybe a little bit of something like that sticking out the bottom. Okay. So then they went and they put in their different stems. So I think I need to dry this because I don't want my stem color to bleed into my pot color. I'm drying the other side as well so it kind of flattens out my paper. Now you could tape this down on a board. I've seen a lot of watercolor artists do that, which, you know, is very, very brilliant. But I didn't do it. I didn't do it. All right, so now I'm going to pick this really dark, yummy green. And let's see now. See, I'm better if I do things, you know, upside down. I'm going to put this to watch again. She's just, actually, this person's looks like a fella, maybe. And he's just going like this, but sometimes I'm better doing stuff upside down, you know, and pulling my stems. Can you see? Can you see what I'm doing okay? I'm trying to remember to add water. I made a puddle there. Yeah, see, I don't like that heavy. See, if I go this way, I get too heavy of a stroke for my liking. Then they go back and they just take everything's, you know, speeded up. So then they go back and they get that purple that they used. And this is really watered down, it looks like. I tried to locate Lily Williams on YouTube, but not sure if I found that artist or not. Lots of Lily Williams out there. Yeah, that would be a popular, I would think. Doesn't seem like no matter how much water I put in here, it's not really. Okay. Now there again, this is wet, so let me dry this. Now I'm not happy with my green stems that I came down into the pot, but see they've got other leaves that come out from there, so I'm hoping I can fix that. And all they do is really just take this and they're building little flowers with just little strokes that are real watery. Like an underneath, like a background. They're just making little, there's, you can see more of a leaf kind of a look on theirs. But you can do your own thing, right? Any questions? I don't really have answers, but somebody in somebody in chat might. Somebody in chat might have an answer. I think Dawn does a fair amount, right? Dawn, you do a fair amount of watercolor work. I love purple flowers like this. Ron finally planted some this year, and I was taking pictures for my Etsy page, and I wanted some flowers to sit next to what I was showing, and so he brought in those purple flowers. Oh no, more TV. And oh my gosh, they had such a horrible scent to them. I had to take them out of the house. I'm not usually bothered by stuff like that. Okay, I see one thing that I'm doing. Hey Jasper, how are you today? Um, one thing I'm doing is going over and hitting that green stem, which I'm noticing now on the reel, they kind of avoid that because see, it's blending, it's muddying up my purple a little bit. Do I need some help? Yes, I always need help. I need some help. I'll be challenged. I perhaps, well, no, I don't really think I watered this down too much because I want it to be watery on this first coat. This one, I think I want the flower to come this way. And we'll do one here. And here. Lori, what I like to do is practice brush strokes, like for those stems and try. Yeah, I did that a little bit, and I've done that over the years. But I'm also better if I don't have an audience, especially in this type of medium, because it's not, I'm outside of my comfort zone. I think we need one here. And I'm not an expert, so some of this is to show you that, you know what, you don't have to be an expert. Lisa, don't be afraid to mix colors to make your own shades. So that's a good point too. Um, you know, it doesn't have to be watercolor. There's a lot of room for a lot of wiggle room, right? It's very forgiving. Like with the last one, like Peggy pointed out, I was making my petals too long. I tend to do that. I tend to, yeah, I don't have any white. I'm not mixing it with white. This is straight from the pan. You think so, Gail? All right, so now I want to use this purple that I have because I only have one purple in this pan. It's like a, actually, I would call it an aubergine. Yeah, that's true. That's what I was saying to the girls. I don't know if you were here yet or lurking, but I just gotten this dagger brush. I had one before, but I hadn't used this one before. So I was practicing a little. But it's all about a lot of it is about pressure, too, especially with the like the acrylic paints. So this they're just tapping and deepening that color and coming down the other side of that stem, kind of right on top of that um, kind of little puddly purple mess I did. I might get out my other Kurtaki and grab a darker purple so I can get a little more contrast. And if you've seen these kind of little purple flowers, they're all little tiny, like a hydrangea. They're all little tiny petals that make up the flower. Let me grab mine. Let me rinse this out. Grab my, I think there's a darker purple in my original. Oh, these are such a mess. These are very messy, girls. Very messy. Let's see what this color looks like here. Yeah, that's a nice purple. Kimberly said, Lori, you did? You sent me another picture? Oh my gosh, you should see Kimberly's sock. I should probably pull that up. Do you mind if I pull it up and show the girls? Just gonna add some of this. Oh, I know. I love that purple, right, Jasper? Yeah. This original purple that I'm using here, it really looks like the color purple my girls wore in my wedding. Oh, that must be very frustrating, Ange. Now this one kind of is going under and then going on top of these other flowers. So that's how I'm going to paint it. I'll leave that space, make that a little darker back there. Of course, the reel is speeded up too, right? So it looks like they're going 100 miles a minute. I think my pot, I should have started my flowers down a little closer to my actual pot. Thanks, Leah. Got another little guy here. I don't know. Sometimes when I'm streaming and I'm hanging out with you guys, I feel like I have to rush, but I guess I really don't have to. Yes, it would. So I got a Happy Meal from Kathy, which Kathy Calico Key, and she was very sweet to make pot holders and like pot mats or something, like things that you can put a hot plate on for my son and his gal for their new place. Well, and she said, you don't have to give them all to them. So I picked out one that I wanted to keep, but I knew that they would really like them. So they were here to do some laundry. Well, that's a whole nother story. Oh my gosh, kids, right? They're not really kids, okay? They're adults, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so I said to them, "Oh, my friend Kathy made you pot holders for your new place." I said, "I'm going to get those. Don't let me forget to get those." And they're like, "Oh, okay." So then I come out with them. They were like hogs in heaven. They're like, "Oh," they're grabbing at them. He's grabbing them from her. She's grabbing them from him. "Oh, oh, these are cute. Oh, look at this one." I'm like, and my son Brian said, "Well, I thought you meant like something knitted, which would be fine." He said, "But I didn't think you meant ones like this. These are great." They absolutely loved them. So then before they're leaving, Felicia wanted to know if I had, "Mom, you have any more paper? I want to make another journal and I have paper, but I don't have different kinds of paper." I said, "Oh, I have paper." So we come back here to my workspace and they're rummaging through all my stuff. I hid the one pot holder out here so they would, because it's your kids. It's like, "Oh, I really like that." You hate to not give it to them. I'm like, "Get out of there. Get out of my stuff." So I told Kathy, we were chatting, but I mean they were thrilled. They really liked them. And I showed them on my Happy Mail. They're just adorable. She did a great job. I might be getting a little too heavy-handed here. I guess I can fill that bottom up with leaves. All right, now I'm going to go back into this darker purple and add some of this, you know, hit or miss. I don't want them all real dark. Just like maybe little areas where they're dark. Maybe that back one. The leaves are starting to turn here. And oh my gosh, they're just so beautiful. But like to paint every leaf. Yeah, I still have some to do. Well, I just started to go through some of my email. I just recently cleaned out, I mean, thousands. I took the time and cleaned out thousands, you know, like all the ads and stuff. And I should go in and unsubscribe, but that, you know what, I should remember to do that at night when I'm watching TV and clean it out. But anyway, I did it not that long ago, but my goodness, they clutter up and gather so quickly. Well, I missed a couple I hadn't seen. So I just sent Darla a message because I didn't even see hers. And I just saw Kimberly's. Now, maybe when that dries, it won't look so different, but let me put a couple more of the darker. They put kind of like little dots coming off the tips of some of these. Now to put some petals. Just really don't like the bumpy paper. I don't like the bumpy paper. All right, so now they just go in and add some leaves. And it doesn't have to look like theirs, right? It just because it looks like yours. So whatever you do, it'll be all right. So if I do this again, I will bring not like my stems or start my flowers down a little closer to my pot. To my pot. Lori, well then you need some hot press. Yeah, I do have hot press, but I kind of hoard that. I thought for my first time, my first go round on this. All right, so there's that one. It's a little shaped a little wonkish. A little wonkish. But now I'm going to try this. Maybe I'll put a little bit of this in here too on the bottom. So kind of. All right, take a break, Ange. I hope you have a Kit Kat bar. Give me a break. Give me a break. always room for improvement, I say. Let's see. What did I pull out here? So I want to put a stamp on this too. And I think I want to go with my, with my, with my script, my French script stamp. I'm going right across the pot. Now, let's just see. What do I have in the way of the Timmy crayons that might go with? I don't think I have any purple. I don't think I have Timmy purple. But I know I have a couple of greens. That green might look okay. I have a, that might be a little much. It's more of a red, not a blue, purple. See, whatever, when I go to use this, it's going to be glued down, so I don't really care about the back. Let's just see. Yeah, that really gets into the bumpies of the watercolor paper. I'm better off putting it on my glass, I think. Yeah. I like that. I like that more better. See, to me, it just looks better when you have something around the edge. Now, this next one, did Kimberly say if it, hey, Dar, did Kimberly say if it was okay for me to show her dolls? Now, you just have to be careful when you're coming near where your watercolor is. Now, see, if I gave this to my neighbor on a card, she would be thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. She would be thrilled. I was just thinking about, oh yeah. I was thinking about spattering some of this with this dark purple. I'm going to mix it in here with this and get it juicy. I'm going to get it juicy. Oh, it might be a little too juicy. A little too juicy. It's okay. To me, spattering covers a multitude of sins. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right. So now let's see. I don't think Kimberly minds. How can a rebounder be good for you when you can't breathe after using it? I don't know. Kimberly said, beautiful warm day. Bet the frogs are coming back out. Ribbit, ribbit. Okay, I'm going to my email. I don't think she minds. I didn't see if she said. Now let's see if I put in. Nope, that's an old one. Halloween. Oh no, you did not. Ah, Kimberly. How cute is that? Can you see, girls? Look, she put spectacles on. Look, love the fabric. She gave it a dress. That's okay, Ange. There's a second one here. Here, wait to see this. Nope, that's the same guy. Nope, that's the old one. Here's the original. Look how cute she is. So if you missed the video where we made a doll out from a little sock, check it out. This is Kimberly's. Absolutely adorable. They turned out great. Okay, that's good to know, Ange. Thanks for telling me that. All right, so now I'm going to go back to my reel and then take a look at this one. This one is really going to put me over the top, I think. Okay, so they spatter different colors and then just wet their brush, pull in some stems, and then use white. They just plop white down. Are you seeing that? Let's watch again. This one says Polly Hill 1313. See, then it says Paul Russell, Little Boo. I think that's the music behind. So it looks like they've got some green, some yellow, some pink, some purple. And it looks like they do the spattering in 2 steps, right? I know, right? It looks so easy. But see, I haven't been successful using white watercolor. So let's see what happens. All right. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous. Okay, so I taped off a piece, a couple pieces actually. Looks like this already got something spattered on it. So it looks like they started with greens and yellows first and then put pinks and purples on top. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I got plenty of paper. So I'm going to use this. Okay, I'm going in. I'm going to use, nope. I'm just using the outside of this here plastic gizmo. All right, so green. So I'm going to grab a little bit of this green. It's like a medium green. Now I'm spattering. Then I'm going to grab this blue green. Spatter some of that on. And then I've got this dark green that I'm going to use for the stems as well. And I'm going to put that in that light green to kind of lighten that up just a little bit. Okay, then they take a bigger brush, I believe. Get some water on that. I'm watching. Boy, they go fast. They go fast on this here speed dial. I'm assuming I do this while this is still wet. I should have used my mop. Where's my mopper? There it is. Hold on. That one's a little tight. That one's a little tight. This one's looser. Now personally, I like how some of those drips have stayed. Can you see some of those drips have stayed on the paper? Now I'm going to try this. Oh, look, I picked up seed. This did get hit with some purple. Isn't that funny? It was way up on my keyboard. Okay, so now I'm going to dry this layer. And then I'm going to spatter on some of the purple, some of that dark purple, some of the auburn green, and a little bit of pink. And so actually that looks like they have some orange in there too. Doesn't really matter though, does it? Now when I first watched this reel, this one definitely says Holly Hill altogether 1313. When I first watched this reel, I immediately thought to myself, I will cheat and use, and use white acrylic paint. I'm so horrible. Okay, so they do have a little bit of, all right. Let me see what I have in the way of, I don't know that I have any really bright, like, no, there's no, well, this is kind of, I'm looking for something like maybe a fuchsia type color. This one's a little more fuchsia. Let's see, let me grab a little bit of this. Because I'm liking that on the original. So they put a little bit of that fuchsia up there, here. And then they go to the purple. And then kind of like a yellowy orange. I'm not picking up enough. Did I lose you? Did I lose everybody? Am I still here? And then down in here. And then I want to pick up a little bit of this orange. Okay, thanks, Jill. All right, so I'm going to put that back up top. And I'm going to grab my mop. And here we go. Just want to... Now, she's not going back and forth, so I'm going to try to do that without... Now, see, I did it. I wonder if I should get out my other watercolors. Because, like, what did Leah say? These aren't as... Look at that. Ooh. These aren't... The Kurtaki is a little more opaque than other watercolors. So maybe that, that could be. I'm adding some more of this fuchsia. I almost just dropped me brush. Oh, I almost just dropped me brush. I want enough contrast so you can see the white, right? Right? I don't think I have enough paint on. And it kind of got muddy. See what I'm saying? Kimberly says splat, splat, splat. See, so like when Dee Dee does stuff, or Janet Nash, or Janet Young, Lena, Kathy Arbor, Devin Rex. You don't make it look so easy. It ain't. It ain't, girlfriend. It ain't easy. Oh, still another one. I want a little more color in. Let's see. I didn't pay attention with the size brush she splats with. Let's try, I want to try some more of this. She goes so freaking fast. really do like that fuchsia up here. I should take the pan out, Rory, instead of just doing it this way. Oh no, I just don't have enough arms. Some days I just don't have enough arms. All right. Not working for me. I'm open to suggestions. I don't like this. This is just a big thing of mud. I won't be having it. I won't be having it. Where's my, here. I don't see any instructions. And I don't think, yeah, it looks like it's dry when she puts, when she or he puts down the color. Nobody's got a suggestion for me. This is a blue-green. Yes, Gail agrees. She thinks it was dry first. Ooh, I mix those colors. Oh, that looks better. Yeah, I think I blended out too much. So that looks better to me. Let me try this. Ooh, I've got a lot of water on there. That's not some of the light through. See, it does look better. That's much better. Okay. So now let me grab this pan, which I should have done before. I'm really liking that fuchsia. I want that on there. All right, so let me grab some of this fuchsia. My spots aren't big enough. And I want some of this yellowy green kind of color. And maybe a little bit of this orange. That's where I lose it. Well, we're going to go with it. This is kind of muddy there. I wonder if I can pick that up. I shall have to work on that. See, everything's a struggle when it comes to watercolor for me. Some things really come a little easier for me. Of course, right now I can't think of what that is. What that is. But, okay. So then after this, they pull their stems in. I think. Yeah, and then they splat it with white. Of course, mine looks really streaky, but I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna get my dagger brush and I'm gonna turn it, oops, side down because that works for me. And then over here somewhere I have some of that dark green, yeah, right in here. I'm gonna add some more. Hmm. I need a couple of stems, I think, a little taller. Yeah, some that are really out of whack. Kind of out of whack. Angie says she has a question. I made this quilt top for a lady that didn't bring it back to me to quilt, but she got all the fabric. That was a year ago. Can you call her? Gosh, a year's a long time. I guess I don't know that you have to worry about it if it's been a year. That's just, I don't know. See what the other girls think. Okay, so now they spatter white. I'm assuming white. You can't call her. I guess the thing would be, Ange, is that if, you have to be willing to, if she ever would contact you, to replace it. But gosh, after a year, I would think all bets are off, but that's just me. But I understand your hesitance, you know, to wanting to use it. But you're talking like the leftovers, that didn't get used up. Yeah, that's what I think too, Ange. It was a baby's quilt. Yeah, I would think you're good. All right, let's see how this, oh, that spatter's pretty good. All right, so now they spatter quite a bit of this white on all over. And then they go through, here we go again, to make petals and flowers. And I'm going to use this bigger brush. And I'm going to do it upside down because that works for me. So now I'm going to be thinking about where my stems are. And just making little plop, plop, plop marks. like little half cups, kind of, to look like flowers. Mm. I've got quite a few more in there. Oh, she used to be your boss. Okay, Ange. All right, now they put a little dot of yellow on some of these too. I don't know why, but they do. Not on all of them, it doesn't look like to me, but and then they come back in with that dark green. And work the bottom of these flowers like that, kind of. And then pull in some other stems. Kathleen, are you working along? Sometimes Kathleen works along. Jacqueline, are you still here? My finger's sticking to my tape. All right, now I'm going to get my, I really like making my lines with that dagger brush. I really do. I really really do. Now I want this to be a little darker. Yeah, so I can really see it. So let me pull these in. And they don't do leaves, thank the dear Lord. And I'm going to dry this, and then they come back in and put more of the white paint for spattering. Spatter some more white. So let me dry this. Now, if I could get that underneath. Oh, you're welcome, Jasper. I'm glad you arrived. Thanks for letting me know. Thank you, Jasper. I think if I had my background a little deeper in color, those flowers would pop more. I might try this. I might try this again. Um, I feel a little more successful with this. Let me find, let me just, maybe a gouache to spatter with would be better. Oh no, what do you think? I have white dots. I have white dots all over my paint tray. It's not really come. I don't want it too watery because I don't want it to, bloom. I want it to stay more speckled. Now, I don't want to pull my paper either. So let's just a little bit. For me, one of the hardest things is trying to get the painter's tape onto straight. Even though I have a straight edge, I struggle. I struggle. Sorry, I'm fighting here. This is where I need another hand. It's sticking. I left them long so I could stick it down to the table if I wanted. But maybe if you just heat this up, you don't have to keep the hot air on it. Now, you really can't see any of that fuchsia to me that I put in here. Maybe we get a couple more of these. I think this one came out good. Got it. Got it. Okay. Let me try the other side. I guess I could iron the back too to flatten this out. And I guess that's why they tape them on a surface and then let them dry, because then it'll be flat for you. Let's see, I'll get that out of the way. So can you see that okay? So that one didn't turn out too bad. Although the white, as it's drying, really kind of seems shiny, but that's just, I think, a regular white from my Kuretake set. So I think that's going to be it for me today. So these were all inspired by reels that I saw on Instagram. If you'd like to have the reel, just message me on Instagram and I'll just send it to you. So this was the flowers. I think this has possibilities that I can improve on this. I can improve on all of them. And then this one with the flower pot, I think my proportions are out a little bit. So, that would, but this was easier for me. Yeah, but so there you have it. I'm not a watercolor person. So, but like with anything else, practice, you're going to get better, right? But I just really don't practice. But certainly, you put a dark color backing behind one of these or trim it out, put it on the front of a card. That would look pretty, right? Someone might enjoy getting that for a little pick me up or a little hello, how you doing today? So, there you have it. Well, thanks for joining me. I hope to see you on Sunday morning. We're hoping to go see the Grands play soccer on Saturday, and my hubby's birthday is Saturday. So we'll have a busy weekend, which is kind of unlike it. You did a floral watercolor and you posted on Instagram. Okay, Kathleen, great. Thanks. All right, my lovelies. Thanks for coming in. And I hope to see you soon. Don't forget, take time to be creative and enjoy the journey. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.